welcome to our YouTube channel, Relationship Builders Forum. It is great to have you all here. My name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
If you are new on our channel, we want to bid you a warm welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when we put content out. And to all our returning subscribers, it's always a joy to have you.
Yeah, do you know that love is a sweet experience to have? In fact, everyone desires to be in love. Everyone wants to have that love experience. But the thing is, are you ready for love?
Now, someone can say, yes, they're ready for love. I mean, I'm ready for love because I feel mature. I'm ready for love because I feel gooey inside. I'm ready for love because I feel a fluff inside. So yes, I am ready for love.
So today we want to talk about this question. Are you ready for love? At the end of the day, we want to know, what do you need to do if you're not ready for love? Number one is you need to understand what love is. People define love most times as how they feel the butterfly in their stomach. I don't know how women describe that, you know.
But I just said the gooey feeling inside,
the gooey
right?
feeling inside.
You feel so soft and fluffy.
Yeah. You just feel this, you know, this warmth feeling of you want to embrace the person, you want to cuddle, you want to always be with that person, and all of those. But we know that love is beyond feeling.
That's true.
Love is not just how you feel. Love is something you do. So one of the things you need to know before you think about readiness for love is you have to know what love is.
Yeah. And what is love? Love for us is beyond that gooey feeling. It's beyond the emotions, the surge that you feel. Love we feel is a commitment. Love is you saying, regardless of when that feeling fades or when that feeling dies down, I am willing to stick with this special one regardless. Come rain, come sun, it's him or him, right?
Yes. And our definition of love, sorry I cut in there.
That's
our
fine.
definition of love is about you doing your best to be the best for this person, because we believe if you're not your best, you can't do your best. Some people want to love, but they don't know how to. They don't even know how to, you know, take that action. In fact, love is an action word. So anytime you think about love, think about, am I ready to do the things that are required in an intimate relationship? Am I ready to go the extra mile? Am I ready to be committed to it? No matter how this person treats me, am I ready to forgive? Am I ready to resolve conflict? Am I ready to take the responsibilities that come with love? It's not just about how I feel. Absolutely.
It's not about how you feel. The definition that you just gave about being the best. So love actually begins with you. Love begins with you because, look, you can't give what you don't have, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, I want to love. I want to love. I am in love. But they haven't quite built that capacity because they don't even understand what love is. They haven't been in a situation where they have experienced love and accepted love, or they have been kind to themselves, because love is kindness. You know, when we talk about you loving someone, it's about you, you know, just being kind to that person. But have you come to be kind to yourself? You know, some people don't know how to be kind to themselves. Some people haven't, like I said before, haven't experienced love before. And I think that this is really critical, because for you to be able to show love and give love, you first of all need to understand love. You need to be able to, you know, embrace love for yourself and understand what it feels to love oneself before you can extend that to some other person.
Obviously, you can't give what you don't have. And that takes us to the thing you mentioned about building capacity. Love is about capacity building. If you don't have it, you can't give it. There are skills that are required for love. There are things you must do when you want to love someone. For instance, you have to know how to communicate effectively, you know, because for us, we know, not just us, everyone knows that the lifeblood of any relationship is communication. So if you don't know how to effectively communicate with this person, you're going to mess up the whole experience. You need to learn how to resolve conflict, because someone who is closer to you is more likely to offend you. So you need to know if there are issues in our relationship, how do we deal with it? Or else the love thing, the love experience you're longing for will frustrate your life and make you miserable. So you need to learn how to resolve conflict, how to communicate effectively, how to, treat this person according to the person's needs. I know you have some things to say.
Yes, you talked about treating the person according to the person's need, because a lot of times when we want to show love to someone, we want to love that person on our own terms. We're not looking at how does this person feel? How can I love this person on their own terms? And I think this is really important, because you find when we cancel couples and they say, oh, but I'm showing them love. I'm there for them. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. The question is, the interpretation of the other person might not be that you're showing love, because you are not doing it based on their own terms. You're doing it based on your own terms. And I always use this analogy a lot, right? You are deciding as a family to go on holiday. Now, is it what you really want? And now you're deciding to bring everybody on board because you feel this is the best way to love my family. But then, do they really want to go on a holiday to that destination that you really want? So I think it's about you pausing to understand that other person's perspective and what love really means to that person. Loving that person on their own terms. The other thing I wanted to say, before we went into talking about building that capacity and all that, I wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of people have been traumatized. A lot of people have seen a lot of, they've been through a lot of season before they found love. And now their experiences, their past experiences always come in the way with them being or being able to demonstrate effect or love somebody effectively. Now, because they've been in a situation where they feel, I am not capable of being loved. So due to the trauma they've been through, it colors their vision about how they show love to the other person. And it also would make it difficult in some instances for them to accept love when love is being offered, when love is being given to them. And I think we have a lot of traumatized people in relationship, and they don't realize that they have been traumatized. And the way they show love is basically colored through their experiences, and in some instances not pure, and they don't even realize it's not pure. They're just trying to project their trauma. They're trying to project their past, their lived experience on the other person, and not realizing that this is seriously detrimental to the relationship.
Yeah, adding to that, it means that the life experience of this individual has, created a misconception about what love is, how love should be given, or how love should be received. I think the place to start is to, unlearn.
Yeah.
Try to find out what inhibits your ability to receive or show love, and try to, deal with the issues of the past and renew your mind to understand that love is not what you've gone through. Someone has abused you, someone has misused you, someone has, dealt with you with a negative way of expressing love. And for you, that is what you see as love. Maybe it could be a parent, it could be an uncle, it could be a relative, or even someone you think you've been in a relationship with in the past. They've abused your openness, they've abused your vulnerability, and it's time for you to engage in a process of change, process of renewal, process of discovering the real you, so that you can give your authentic self to someone else. And that's part of building capacity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just spoke about vulnerability, and the thing is, some people find it difficult to be vulnerable, and you cannot love without being vulnerable. I mean, that's one of the beauties, the amazing things about the wonderful thing about love is that you get to be vulnerable in a safe environment with someone that you truly want to do life with. And vulnerability is beautiful.
It's beautiful because you have to trust this person.
You have to
get to that point of vulnerability. And once you're vulnerable, in a positive sense, where you're very much open,
yeah,
so that this person can see through you and see your inner being, see your feeling, your hurts, your pain, your past, and accept you for who you are. And this person is able to, help you through that journey of rediscovering yourself and becoming the best version of you. Rediscovering yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. That's what love is. That's beauty.
That's the beauty of love. And, we ask this question, are you ready for love? Because if you are going for love, then you have to accept that you need to be vulnerable with that person. You need to come 100% and say, look, I'm not perfect, but I'm work in progress. And I'm more than willing to work together with you to rediscover, like you said, rediscover myself and reinvent myself. And it is not love or the journey of finding love. Like I said, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's not. You can't say, "Oh, I found love," because that's it because it's work in progress. You are like two imperfect people that have found each other, and you are on a journey to rediscovering and reinventing yourself. And it takes a lot of vulnerability to do that. It takes a lot for you to come to terms to accepting that, look, this is something I want to do, and I want to do this with this special person.
Yeah, I think talking about vulnerability, I also want to say that the person who is given that privilege of your vulnerability has to value it.
Absolutely.
You have to understand that this person has opened up to you her inner being or his inner being. You don't have to take advantage of this person. You don't have to judge this person. You don't also have to abuse this privilege, because it's a wonderful privilege to have access to someone else. And when you have this opportunity, you have to nurture this person.
True.
By not necessarily that this person becomes emotionally dependent on you, but nurture in the sense that you provide support, you create this safe emotional space for this person to thrive. That's what love is. I can tell you from experience, when my wife and I started, we weren't the way we are today. I knew my weaknesses, I knew my shortfalls, and I was open to her to say, honey, this is my areas of limitations, and I'm ready to work on myself to become the best version of me. And the good thing about my wife is that she gave me that support. She gave me that listening ear. She provided the environment for me to be myself without being taken advantage of. So if you have this privilege, make the best use of it.
Yeah. And I also want to add to what you've just said, that you creating that environment where your spouse can fail safely, it's important. Because it's all about you just being kind. Just understanding that you need to treat this person with grace. He's not perfect. And it is important that they understand that, yes, I'm not perfect, but if I make a mistake, I'm safe. I'm not going to be, clamped down by my wife or my husband. I'm not going to be reminded repeatedly about the fact that I have made this mistake. And I think this is an element in a lot of relationship that is missing. The fact that we don't extend grace, we don't extend kindness to our spouse. And I think it's critical that they have this understanding that it's okay to make mistakes, because I've got somebody who's watching me, who's got my back, who's able to support me through that process and helping me to rediscover myself.
Yeah, not just for spouses. I think for people who are not married, who are single and they are looking to be in a relationship, sometimes we judge people too fast.
That's true.
Because this person you want to be engaged in an intimate relationship with has made one mistake or the other, you judge this person and you think there is nothing in it for me. This is not the perfect spouse I am looking for.
True.
This is not the kind of love experience I am looking for. And I will tell you that it's never too smooth at the beginning. If everything is rosy, everyone is perfect, someone is hiding or someone is pretending.
Yeah.
If we are genuine at the beginning of every relationship, you see the flaws. The key point is, at their core elements of this person's values, characters, and the rest of them that you can take on board in order to build. Once there is that flexibility to learn, to grow, you have someone you can work with, but you have to be willing to do the work. That's why we said, are you ready for love? Love is not just an experience. You just take you go for shopping, you buy something, and that's it. It takes work. It's action,
dedication,
over and over and over again. And in marriage as well, it is work.
That's true.
You're committed to being your best, doing your best, even when you fail, you try again, because you've made up your mind to love someone. Like I've made up my mind to love my wife. And I'm happy to do it over and over again. And I challenge the men out there. We have a responsibility as men, as husbands, to nurture our wives. Because we are the leaders. And when we talk about leadership in marriage, it's not about imposing authority, it's about showing support, it's about service, it's about modeling what you want your wife to do or to be. If you want her to show you love, show her how to love. It's your responsibility to create that roadmap for your family and for your wife. And it's a very important responsibility to have a woman into your life because she's chosen to live with you, to spend the rest of her life with you. You have to be ready to love her in her own terms, because love can conquer any imperfection.
True.
And love doesn't actually look at all the flaws. Love is interested in the positive side and helping to build this person to overcome her limitations.
Absolutely.
And when we as men give love, trust me, you will get submission in return.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to coerce it. It is a product of influence.
Absolutely.
When you influence people, have you ever wondered why is it that people in authority have, others coming around them, willing to submit to them, willing to give, because of influence.
Absolutely.
If you influence your wife
Positively,
she would definitely adore you.
Absolutely.
Like my wife adores me.
Yes. I think another point to mention here, and that's in line with what we've been discussing around are you ready for love, is emotional maturity. Life has got twists and turns. I must say that. And you need a level of emotional stability to be able to manage those twists and turns. Or else you're going to ruin something so beautiful as love. There are moments, where you together have got challenges. There are moments where you argue, like you talked about conflict. There are moments where externally, you guys are okay, but external pressure, cause your marriage to be pushed to the wall. The question is, are you emotionally mature to soak up these challenges? Are you emotionally mature to navigate these challenges? And look, regardless of whether you're married or single, challenges happen to everyone in life. But your ability to overcome the challenges that you're faced with is you being stable mentally, being stable emotionally. And this is really critical, or else you find a lot of people damage such a beautiful relationship, especially for singles. You're in a relationship and then at some point there is a conflict, and due to the level of immaturity, they are not able to, take and make beautiful this love that's being offered. And I think it's critical.
Yeah. Emotional maturity talks about you knowing that you don't actually need your spouse to be happy.
Yeah.
You don't need your spouse not to be lonely, because we know that a lonely single will create a lonely marital relationship. The fact is, you need to discover yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to believe in yourself. You need to build confidence in yourself. You need to be whole. You need to be full, in a sense that you don't need someone or the other person's affirmation to be able to do things you're supposed to do, to win your victories. You just need to be whole, because when you're whole, you are able to give your 100%. You don't need to be emotionally dependent on your spouse to be an individual. You don't need this person in order to be yourself. Be yourself in order to live with this person, and two of you can conquer the world.
Absolutely. I want to state something, just drawing from what you said. If individuals understand who they are and they come into a relationship, you cannot compete with yourselves. Because you understand that, look, we are uniquely different. We are uniquely whole individuals. And we are bringing something so amazing, something so beautiful into this relationship. Because what we started finding in a lot of relationships that we have canceled is the fact that you have a husband and a wife competing against each other. And if you get to that point where you are competing against your spouse, that means you haven't quite discovered who you are. That means you're not whole yet. You're still fragmented. That's why you're coming in to say, look, why is she doing this, or why is he doing this? I should be the one doing this, or I should be the one. No, you are secure in your space. You are secure in who you are. You understand who you are. But, having said that, that doesn't mean that if you've got any sort of weaknesses that you need to work on, that you say, no, I'm secure in who I am. No, it's about working together and being, but then you need to understand that you are different. You are a different individual. But understanding who you are and being confident in who you are and bringing that into the relationship is something that would make it thrive.
Very important point you've raised there. Obviously, our differences would be a point of complementing each other for us to be able to, be the best. It's about interdependence.
Absolutely.
It's not about independence to live like two fragmented people. It's about both of you working together to be the best version of the two of you. And I also want to point out that you're not ready for love if you're not willing to create space for someone else. Let me say that again. You're not ready for love if you're not willing to create emotional space, physical space, financial space, or whatever space for someone else. Because love involves getting someone else into your life. And if you're so self-centered, it's all about you. You're so busy with your life. You're only thinking about yourself. Your vision is so narrowed down to me, I, and me. You're not actually ready for love. Love involves giving time to someone else. You're busy with work. It's all about your personal goals. No one comes into your space and disrupts your plan and your program. You're not ready for love, because love involves working together with someone else as a team. So you must create that space. You must also create emotional space for someone. If you have baggages of the past, hurts, unresolved issues from your past relationships, your house, your emotional house is cluttered.
That's true.
There is no space for someone else.
Yeah, emotional
I know
house
you
is
want to add more to that.
I like that. Your emotional house is cluttered. I think a lot of people need to declutter.
Yes.
There's quite a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on emotionally that you need to sort of like unpack.
Junk in the trunk.
Junk in the trunk. Well, you need to unpack a lot of things emotionally. And that kind of mirrors what I was saying earlier around traumas and just, facing some of the things that you need to let go of. Habits, unhealthy habits. I think it's a moment to talk about this. I mean, we might do a separate video just looking at, how traumas and some habits can inhibit, love, or inhibit someone from actually finding love. The truth is that there are some unhealthy habits. If you're going into a marital relationship, you cannot afford to be involved in solo sex. And I'll say that. It is so important, so critical. Where you find yourself with yourself, enjoying yourself, your own company in that sort of way.
In a physical sense.
In a physical sense.
You engage in physical intimacy with yourself.
With yourself. That in itself is detrimental, because there has been a lot of marital relationships now that are facing a lot of issues as a result of that. Because they cannot come to the point where they are physically attuned to each other, romantically attuned to each other, because one person has significantly found a safe space in enjoying
a safe space. It's not actually a safe space. The person has found a personal space, I would say, because it's not safe, because it has its consequences. So we'll look at it in the terms of you being self-centered when it has to do with physical intimacy.
Absolutely.
You enjoy your company. It's all about you. That's still back to the fact that you're not willing to give. You need to learn how to move away from that addiction.
Absolutely.
To be able to get someone in. Because marriage involves, will I say love within the confines of marriage, involves physical intimacy.
Yeah. And addictions are powerful. Addictions are powerful, but I think it's something we need to treat on a separate video, because this has led to a lot of breakdown in relationship. Some people didn't even realize. I mean, I've just touched on just one addiction, but there's so many other addictions that people are so involved and so hooked onto that this has depleted their personal themselves, falling in love with themselves, and even giving that love and building that capacity to give that love to someone else.
Yeah, talking about addiction, I just want to mention one. If you're addicted to spending, you're so much in debt because of the addiction to spend. Anything money comes into your account, it goes, and even the one you don't have, you go out to borrow to spend. It has become your nightmare. You call everyone that you know asking for money because you're not able to live within your means. That in itself means you've not created the financial space for someone else to come in.
True.
I'm not talking about men here. I'm talking about both parties.
Yeah.
So if you're a woman, you've not created the financial space to be in love relationship. So get ready for love. What do you need to do? Reevaluate your life. What are the things that are inhibiting or would inhibit your ability to find love and enjoy the beauty of love? Think about those things and make a plan. What is the roadmap of your freedom? Because whatever enslaves you, whatever that stops you from being the authentic you, is slavery.
Absolutely.
Could be emotional slavery, sexual slavery, whatever slavery you might call it.
Financial slavery.
Financial slavery. So there is a way out. If you need help, you can reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you. We've helped a lot of people in the past, and they are free enjoying their love relationship. We want you to find love because, trust me, we are enjoying love.
Yeah.
And we know you can have this same experience. Love is blissful, but these inhibitors will not let you enjoy it. Even if you're married and you're thinking, I'm here now, I'm stuck. It's not late.
Yeah.
There is a way out.
Absolutely. There is a way out. And for some of you now watching us, will be wondering, oh, there's some things that possibly we did not, touch on. That's why this is a conversation. And we would love to hear from you. Please put your comments on the chat. And if you really want to reach out to us, we've got our details right there on the description section. Please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd also love to hear your stories as well. And thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it like we did. We thoroughly enjoyed, having this conversation with you all. And if you have forgotten, because this got really interesting and you forgot to hit the subscribe button, now is the time to do that. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when we put content out, because it will be great to have you join our community. And until the next time, it's goodbye from us.